without further ado, let's now call on the MTN Group President and CEO, Ralph Mupita.
I'm resting on all protocols, but I do need to acknowledge our Minister Mondli. I know time is of the essence, but I want the MTNers to all stand up and greet the Springboks the way we greet people with the yellow. Please stand up. On the count of 3, yellow Springboks, yellow! Yellow Springboks, yellow! Springboks, you're at home. You're at home. On the 2nd of November, 2019, many of you remember you were here. You were here for your 3rd World Cup, partnered by MTN. You are here for your 4th World Cup, partnered by MTN. You know, it's a privilege and an honor to be associated with the Springboks. We feel privileged that you came to our home. You've come to our humble home and come to spend time with us. Charles and I have had the privilege of being in sacred spaces with you. And in those sacred spaces, whether it's Loftus, whether it's Ellis Park, whether it's in France, you've shown us consistency of humility, respect, professionalism, and the things that make teams and companies great. Thank you so much for that privilege. We want to thank you for bringing the 4th World Cup. But we must say to you, many of us had to see doctors and pharmacists. This business of winning by 1 point sent many of us on a Monday to see our doctors, to say our hearts are racing. But what you have done, and let me quote a few people who know something about rugby. Sir John Kerwin, one of the New Zealand greats, said, this Springbok team has something you cannot measure. Something you cannot measure, which is the ability to handle pressure. There is no team, he said, in the world that knows how to deal with pressure like the Springboks. David Campisi, another Australian great, says the following about the Springboks. The rest of us play rugby as a sport, but the Springboks do not see rugby as a sport. It is about the country. It is about nation building. It's about giving people dignity. It's about giving people hope. It's about giving people opportunity. That's what the Springboks stand for. My final quote will be to a famous journalist who many of you would know. And he's an Australian journalist who writes about rugby. And he said, he's an Australian talking about the Springboks. He said it's the perfect team. But what's more perfect about the Springboks is they find a way to win. This is why you gave us those mini heart attacks with the 1-point victories over the last 3 games. I want to also remind people that the Springboks have won 4 World Cups. They've only been to the World Cup 8 times. All the other teams have been 10 times. So 1 in every 2 World Cups the Springboks play, they win. The All Blacks are not in our class. They have only won 3 World Cups out of 10 attempts. The English, 1 out of 10. Australians, 2 out of 10. This nation, the Springbok, are a special group. We want to say to you guys, thank you so much. My final comments. Sia, Jacques, the whole team, the whole squad of 33, and the team that sometimes people do not know who are sitting here, the assistant coaches, the physios, all the doctors, the medical teams, etc. We want to thank you because you are teaching us about teamwork and winning together, being stronger together. I really want to say to you, MTN has walked the journey with the Springboks this long. We are not stopping now. We are with you and will remain with you to 2027 and beyond. Thank you so much.